Cable Bahamas has always been considered the innovator.
People can have confidence in Cable Bahamas as a mobile operator because of our past history. We've proven to the Bahamian community that we are in fact able to manage additional services as a telecommunications company.
Customers expect the best from Cable Bahamas.
The technology that we bring is revolutionary technology because we know that the Bahamian public, they deserve it, and Cable Bahamas is here to bring it to them.
We are ready. Turn us on.
Did government drop the ball by withholding a fuel spill report? Residents react. This as their MP responds to criticism over a delay in that document's release. Plus, the F&M chairman not backing down following the Prime Minister's lawsuit threat. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Juanique Tuda and MB12 starts now. Tonight, Robinson Road residents are outraged over what they call government's lax approach to the Rubis fuel spill that occurred in that area over 2 years ago. More than a year after government received a report warning of public health risks, the Attorney General's office finally gave the green light for that document to be released late last week. However, the AG said today she wouldn't call that year-long wait a delay. Kyle Joaquin has the latest on this developing story.
They came in your house and dug this hole?
Yes, sir. They put that hole in there, 3 feet in the ground, right there. Okay? Let me show you the next one.
So how often do they come and test it?
Well, they haven't came back and checked it, but that's it there.
That's a hole experts bore through the ground of the home of Brenneth Chisholm. He's been living in this marathon home for 39 years, and he said less than 3 months ago, experts testing the groundwater in the area for fuel that may have leaked from the service station across the street drilled the hole through his living room floor. But that wasn't the only one.
They put that there about 3 months ago. I'm telling you, right now.
To test through your house?
Yeah.
Did they find anything?
They come in here and they bore in there.
So
they bore down in there. They ain't say nothing to us.
Chisholm was one of about 40 nearby residents who attended the town meeting last Thursday, where they were finally informed that they may have been exposed to harmful chemicals in their groundwater and in the air, with one of those chemicals being a known contributor to cancer, benzene. In the report prepared by consultants Black and Veatch, it stated that indoor air samples for chemical analysis were collected from Cable Bahamas' retail building, as well as the outside of the north end of the building. Tests showed that benzene was detected in all building air samples at concentrations exceeding U.S. Environmental Protection Agency non-residential screening levels. Cable Bahamas ended up moving operations to the mall at Marathon, but these residents who've lived in the area for years said they couldn't just up and leave, and the response from the government, they feel, has been less than favorable.
They built a board around it. They started to turn it into one of their official wells, but they stopped. Yeah, they still use it and they still test, but they stopped. They didn't want to complete the construction for some reason or whatever reason they stopped.
When was the last time they did this?
Or they come around and they test. Every time they come and they test the wells over there or on the north side, they come here, but they didn't finish the construction on this. I guess not to, upset anybody else.
Like I said, they've been ignoring us. Almost as if we weren't here, you know, and that's the main thing. We try to contact them several times, especially mostly government officials, but we get no answer.
They keep testing, but they're not saying anything to us. That don't make any sense at all. You know, we are human beings. We are live human beings. We know what it's all about. I've been here 39 years. So I know everything that goes on around here. Even the gas station over there. When they build a gas station, they get water from here to build a gas station.
We caught up with the Attorney General today to get her feelings on the entire ordeal. She said, for starters, she doesn't think it's fair for people to say that there was a delay in the government's response or getting the information out to the public. Director of the Best Commission, Philip Weech, said the decision to release the information was the government's, but upon the advice of the Attorney General. But that report was complete and government was informed from February of last year. Environment Minister Ken Dorsett has already said government needed time to digest the information. However, the Attorney General doesn't feel there was a delay at all.
I cannot say that there was a postponement of the release of the project, and I think it's premature to make any indication about whether or not, what steps the government will take in relation to the matter. Obviously, the most important thing is the thing that has been happening, and that is to address the situation of those who were directly impacted, and that was immediately addressed, and the indirect impact is an ongoing matter.
As for whether we could see a class action lawsuit filed,
I don't know.
That report said that while planned remedial action were appropriate to address groundwater contamination, the time of Rubis' response to assessing offsite impacts could have been more expedited. Now, we have been trying to reach Rubis' managing director, Gordon Craig, since last week. However, we were informed that he is still out of office until Thursday. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Meantime, Member of Parliament for Marathon Jerome Fitzgerald defended government's decision to release the Black and Veatch report more than a year after its completion, insisting he understands the reason and rationale behind the delay. Fitzgerald told NB12 today he learned of the report last year, but felt satisfied public officials were doing what needed to be done.
I understand the reason and rationale, and I don't, I'm not going to question the Attorney General because there are a lot of legal issues at place, and of course the government has a role to play as well.
Amid public outrage over government's failure to release the Black and Veatch report in a timely manner and make the public aware of potential health risks, Fitzgerald suggested he does not fault government for sitting on that report, which revealed residents at businesses located near Rubis' Robinson Road station were exposed to harmful chemicals. The Marathon MP said he remained in close contact with public officials and was satisfied by steps taken to address the problem.
With regard to the release of the information and them being informed about it, as a Member of Parliament, I was in contact very closely with the Minister of Health and the Minister of Environment, and they were keeping me abreast of all the things that they were doing. And so from my point of view, I felt satisfied that the public officials were doing what they wanted, what needed to be done.
Independent consultants completed the report on February 20th, 2014. However, it wasn't released until this past weekend. Director of the Best Commission, Philip Weish, said the agency did not release the document because it did not have the Attorney General's approval to do so. We asked Fitzgerald when he found out about that report.
I knew the report was done sometime last year, and then I knew it was handed to the Attorney General's office. And I understood that the Attorney General was reviewing it to see the implications of it, and that she had not authorized the release of the report. And the other night she authorized the release of it, and it was released.
Fitzgerald, who is also the Minister of Education, says while he will not question the Attorney General on the matter, he is pleased the report has finally been released so that he can get a better understanding of the situation and more pressure can be placed on Rubis to deal with affected residents.
My concern, and what most of the constituents brought to me, was that they were trying to meet with Rubis, and they wanted Rubis now to address the concerns, which in some cases were financial in nature, either from loss of business revenue or from the fact that there's discomfort.
Fitzgerald says Rubis' response to the whole matter is disappointing, noting his many attempts to reach out to the company have failed. However, he says the pressure will come now. He says he has advised his constituents to take legal action.
They weren't prepared to meet with me, or they kept putting me off, and so a couple of the members have now taken legal action. I've encouraged them to do so.
In other news, police have been notified of an alleged incident of sexual misconduct involving 3 boys and 1 girl at a government primary school. According to a statement released by the Ministry of Education today, the school's principal reported the matter last week Thursday. The alleged victim has been removed from direct interaction with those involved. Their parents have been informed, and aggressive counseling has already begun. Officials say the matter was brought to their attention during a family life lesson on appropriate touching. Education officials say they take the matter very seriously and do not condone such behavior. Police are also investigating the shooting death of a man whose body was discovered at the Blue Hill Sporting Complex around 3:30 this morning. Assistant Commissioner Stephen Dean told NB12 today police are following strong leads in that investigation. Authorities have also launched an investigation into what they call the suspicious death of an Indian man who showed up at a clinic in Bimini with bruises. Police say shortly before midnight, officers were called to the clinic where the 35-year-old Indian man was brought in by two men. The man died at the clinic. Chief Superintendent Ismella Davis told NB12 officers are still in the preliminary stages of their investigation and don't know what happened. She said the body would be flown to New Providence for an autopsy. Meantime, officials have classified a Nassau Village woman's death on Friday as murder. According to police reports, the woman believed to be in her 50s was found dead at her Price Street, Nassau Village home shortly after 7 a.m. Friday. ACP Dean said police arrested a man in connection with that incident.